Food costs are 34% above pre-pandemic levels. Tariffs hit nearly 70% of restaurant operators last year, and nearly half of the industry, almost half, reported unprofitable operations in 2025. And here's the part that should really get your attention. The menu price increase strategy that kept operators afloat for the past 3 years, it is running out of road. Consumers are pushing back, traffic is declining, and the next tariff wave is already forming. So what do you do actually? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes I am going to walk you through 7 proven strategies that operators are using right now to protect their margins. Real tactics, real data. Let's go. Hello everybody, my name is Matthew Kobelin. I am the founder and CEO of HubPlate.app, the future of restaurant management and POS systems. So welcome back. If you are a restaurant owner or operator and you are tired of watching your margin shrink every single month despite doing everything right, this channel is for you. I'm going to cover the full margin defense playbook for 2026. We're talking supplier strategy, menu engineering, contract prices, portion discipline, delivery commissions, and real-time data. 7 strategies that work whether you run 1 location or 10. Let's start with the foundation. Strategy 1. Diversify your supplier base. Single source dependency is your biggest tariff vulnerability. When your main seafood or protein vendor raises prices because of import tariffs, and they will, you have zero leverage if they are your only option. According to Touch Bistro's 2026 State of the Restaurants report, 43% of operators are already planning to increase their use of locally sourced ingredients, specifically to reduce their exposure to tariff volatility. Local sourcing shortens your supply chain, often improves freshness, and gives you real negotiating power. Here's the action step. Identify top 10 highest cost ingredients. Map where each one comes from, then find at least one alternative supplier for every critical category before you need them. Contact local distributors, regional farms, restaurant co-ops. Build those relationships now, not during the next price spike when everyone is scrambling to. Strategy 2. Rebuild your menu around contribution margin. Most operators manage food cost as a percentage of revenue. That matters, but it is not the whole picture. In a volatile cost environment, the number that actually protects you is contribution margin. What each dish literally puts in your pocket after ingredient cost. Research published in the International Journal of Contemporary Hospitality Management found that applying contribution margin focused menu engineering reduced a restaurant's food cost percentage from 38.66% all the way down to 35.11%. Industry practitioners report that effective menu engineering can increase overall profits by 10 to 15%. Here's a simple 4-quadrant framework. Stars, high popularity, high margin. You protect and promote these relentlessly. Plow horses. Popular but low margin. You reprice or swap tariff-exposed ingredients. Puzzles. High margin but low popularity. You reposition them on the menu. Dogs. Low popularity, low margin. You remove them or completely redesign them. When tariffs spike the cost of a specific protein, the fastest fix is an ingredient substitution that keeps your contribution margin intact, not a blanket price increase that risks losing the guest entirely. Strategy 3. Locked in contracted prices with vendors. Spot pricing means you pay whatever the market charges that day. Contracted pricing locks your rate for a defined window, even when commodity prices are swinging weekly. Call your top 3 vendors. Ask them directly. What do I need to commit to in order to lock today's pricing for the next 90 days? Offer a volume commitment, a consistent order schedule, or consolidated purchasing. Get it in writing. Most operators never ask this question. The ones who do consistently pay less than those who don't. It is one of the most underused margin protection tools available to independent operators right now. Strategy 4. Tighten recipe standardization and portion control. In a normal operating environment, slight portion drift is an inconvenience. When your food costs are 34% above pre-pandemic levels, it is a margin killer. Think about it this way. Half an ounce of portion drift on a high-cost protein costs 200 covers a night. That is a real measurable daily loss. Multiplied across a month, it is significant. The fix is not complicated. Build written recipe cards with exact ingredient weights for every high-cost item. Install portion scales at prep stations. Train your team on FIFO, first in, first out rotation, and proper storage. And conduct weekly food cost variance reviews. Comparing what you theoretically should have used against what you actually used. When there is a gap, you find it fast instead of discovering it at month's end after the damage is done. Strategy 5. Audit your menu for tariff-exposed ingredients. Not every ingredient on your menu carries the same tariff risk. Imported seafood, European cheeses, certain specialty oils, wines, and even aluminum packaged items are significantly more exposed than domestic proteins, seasonal produce, and locally sourced dairy. Build a simple list. Your top 25 ingredients by cost, where they come from, and whether they are currently tariff affected. For each high-risk item, develop 1 or 2 substitution alternatives that preserve the quality of the dish. The NRA is specifically flagging the 2026 USMCA review as a potential new pressure point on key fresh produce categories. Operators who have already mapped their exposure and built substitution plans will adjust without guest disruption. Those who have not will be scrambling. Strategy 6. Stop losing 25 to 30% of delivery revenue to commissions. This is the food cost conversation most operators are not having, and it might be the most impactful one on this list. You could do everything right on sourcing, portion control, and recipe discipline, and then hand 25 to 30% of your delivery order revenue straight to a third-party platform. In a year where food costs are already crushing margins, that commission is not a marketing expense, it is a margin destruction event. The solution is building a direct ordering channel. When guests order directly through your own ordering page, you keep 100% of that revenue. The pre-order economics are dramatically different. The technology to do this is no longer just for large chains. Platforms like HubPlate include white-labeled online ordering with 0 commissions built directly into the platform. So every dollar from a direct order stays in your operation, not in a delivery app's pocket. Strategy 7. Use real-time data to catch margin bleed early. The difference between a restaurant that survives a tariff spike and one that doesn't is often just a few weeks of visibility. Catching a 2% food cost drift in week 1 is a manageable correction. Discovering a 7% drift at month's end after it has compounded across every service, that is a cash flow problem. According to ClearCog's 2026 restaurant cost analysis, 6 months of delayed action is just $500 per week in avoidable food. That is not a technology conversation, that is profitability conversation. What to review every single week. Actual versus theoretical food cost by category, price movement on your top 10 highest cost ingredients, waste by station or day part, and supplier invoice variance from your contracted rates. Weekly reviews change your response timeline from reactive to proactive. So let's bring it all together. 7 strategies to protect your restaurant margins in 2026. 1. Diversify your supplier base before you need to. 2. Manage your menu by contribution margin, not just food cost percentage. 3. Lock in contracted pricing with your top vendors now. 4. Tighten recipe standardization and portion control at every station. 5. Audit your menu for tariff-exposed ingredients and build substitution plans. 6. Cut the 25 to 30% commission drain from third-party delivery. And 7. Review real-time food cost data weekly, not monthly. None of these require a massive budget. They require discipline, the right tools, and the decision to act before the next cost wave hits. If you want to go deeper on any of these strategies, I have linked the full written guide in the description below. It includes all the data sources, the internal links, and the step-by-step action items for each strategy. And if you are running your operation on a POS that charges transaction fees on top of everything else that we just talked about, do the math on what that is actually costing you annually. There is a better way. If this video gave you something actionable, hit subscribe. We publish operator-focused content like this every week. Drop a comment below and tell me which strategy you are implementing first. I read every single one. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one.